Hi, I'm CQ the Watch Guy, your partner in collecting time. And today I'm going to go over some of my favorite pre-owned picks for independent watches. Let's dive in. All right, let's get the party started. So before I talk to you about this beautiful Ming Burgundy, I want to talk to you about why I'm telling you to buy independent watches on the secondary market. I think independent watches present probably the best value you can find on the secondary market because you're not going to find such a diverse mix of aesthetics, movements, finishing, cases, anywhere else, right? The great thing about independents is they're independent, so they're doing their own thing. So you can find some very unique watches and some very unique applications of different things. So if you're somebody who's aesthetic focused, you can find pieces that speak to aesthetics. If you're somebody who's really into movements and chronometry and different complications, there are different independents who really focus on that. And on the secondary market, depending on what brand you're looking at, you can get some really, really good value. Now, the flip side to that pillow is they can be hard at times to move them. This is not the most liquid of categories out there, depending on the model as well. But I always say, buy what you love. You're buying these watches to wear them and enjoy them. And by getting them on a secondary market, you're getting the best price you can to mitigate any risk, as much risk as you can. So let's jump right in with this beautiful Ming Burgundy 17.09. Now, Ming is probably one of the youngest independents I'll talk about today. 2017 is when they came out. It's insane, not even 10 years old. And I love Ming because in such a short time span, they've created some amazing, amazing pieces. They started out on a lower end price point, 2,000, under 2,000, and inched up. And people were like, oh my gosh, you're getting so expensive. Now they're up to, I think, 40, we'll fly out there, maybe 40,000 or so. But the movements and the executions and the different applications of loom, amazing, amazing pieces, and one of the independents I'm glad to see flourishing and producing very, very great things. So in 2025, they're an amazing brand to collect because they've deflated from the pandemic pricing we saw where everything was kind of getting lifted up to insane heights. And here we have a beautiful Burgundy 17.09. So it's a stainless steel watch, 38 millimeter case, and I really love the case design on Ming pieces. Their case design and DNA, I guess, I really, really love. Clean, classy, tight curved in lugs there that kind of point out to a sharp end. I really love on this particular piece, beautiful burgundy dial, two-piece dial. In the center, you have that beautiful engraving there. Goes out on a little bit of a step ledge to a more flat red. And then you look at the indices and the hour track, it seems like it's floating, right? That's because it is in fact floating. And they do injected loom or printed loom or whatever they do. They get the loom on the sapphire in an amazing way. And they're probably some of the most vivid loomed watches that aren't dive watches out there. You get a Ming, you get a black light. That's kind of the thing. You get a Ming, you get a little black light that looks nice because you want to take it out, that you want to show off to all your friends and the ladies out there. Beautiful piece, $2,300 and $23.99. I almost said $2,399. Even though I'm sure Federico and the team at Del Rey Watch, where this is over at, would take $23.99 for it. But $2,400. I'd offer them $2,100, $2,150, however aggressive you want to. It's already a really well-priced watch, in my opinion. And the retail for this was around $2,000 or $2,100, I believe. I'd probably take it off of this. I don't know if this is an ostrich or whatever strap it is. I like it on a tan strap versus this strap, red all day. Deep maroon straps, winning. So another Ming here. This is the 5th anniversary Mosiac dial, 37.07. A lot of numbers here. And first you look at it in this picture, it's a cool watch. Interesting watch, nice watch, fun watch. Again, that beautiful case architecture that I love. 38 millimeters on this one again. Oh, nice, beautiful watch. These pictures do not do this watch justice. Let's go to the Hodinkee article here. That is what I'm talking about, friends. Loom City. Ming Tin, who's the founder of Ming, is obsessed with loom. He's a photographer by trade, and just the aesthetics, I just love it. Look at all the loom you're getting here. You're getting 3-part looms. You're getting looms on the hour track. You're getting looms on the hour a minute, and then the Mosiac itself is loomed. And this is a nice little picture of it, but look at that on the wrist. Come on. Come on, what more do you want? I'm telling you, buy a Ming, you have to buy the black light. You need it. You need the action. At least I would. I would have one like a little keychain, make it fancy, and boom. Come on, I'm not talking. Let the loom do the talking for me. Beautiful watch. And let's go back to it here, Del Rey watch. $34.99. You see they had it up at 5,000. Say 1,500 bucks. Retail 32.50 Swiss franc. So around with 3,400 anyways. Beat them up a little bit, $3,000, 3,100 on the wire. You know, Federico's good people. These, I don't know, what more do you want? Automatic movement? Yeah, beautiful automatic. I lost the light, but we're still cooking. And it's just really, really gorgeous piece. Really gorgeous piece. 30 I'm sorry, this is my light situation, but I think I'm gonna rock with it, man. I think it's okay. At 3,500, I think this is a steal. I think this is a steal. Again, you know, they had up for 5,000. All these watches are floating so high, but at 3,500, don't look at this. Look at this. I think that's worth 3,500. That's a beautiful looking watch. So go and get it. Shout out to Federico Del Rey. So one more Ming here. I went on a little bit of a Ming rabbit hole, as you can see. So this is a 22.01 GMT Gilt, and 1960 company. They do very, very good pictures. And I just looked at this and I was like, this is a gorgeous watch. 3350, 38 millimeter case. Once again, you know that's all gonna be loomy goodness. And I was just like, oh, look at that. Beautiful kind of burnt gold. Look at the levels there. You got your GMT hand. And I was like, you know what I gotta do? I gotta find some press pictures of this thing. And our friends over at Fratello, they got the shots, and then you see the real depth of this dial. It doesn't even look at the same watch, and that's why you always gotta ask for a wrist shot. If it's a unique dial, something you haven't seen in person, ask for a wrist shot. They'll do it. If they won't do it, they're not serious about selling watches. They're not serious about the game. Move on. Look at this. Look at this compared to this. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. This is double the gorgeous, right? Look at you can see the real matte finish and the gilt. You know, gilt is just another word of gold, basically. And this is just a beautiful watch. 3,350, beat them up $3,000. Come on, beat them up 2,800 on a wire. I don't know. Maybe that's too much, but that's a beautiful watch. Even at 3,350, forget the discount. I think that's a great watch, but they got the make an offer button. So you got to click and make an offer. But this is a great buy. 38 millimeter. Full set, come on. You want to give somebody a watch that they'll remember forever because there's nothing else out there like it? Ming 22.01 GMT Gilt. Just send me a note. Look at that. Come on. 3,350? Come on, get out of here. Anyways, next watch. We're going into some Mosers, baby. And this is a beautiful Moser Pioneer Center Second Cosmic Green. Usually I like to point towards box and papers pieces, but if the value's right, if it's a modern watch, it's a very easily verifiable watch. The people at Moser are amazing, and you can verify watches very easily. I don't mind. 9150, especially a company like Shreve Company Low, who's one of the most storied authorized dealers out there. I don't mind getting a naked piece. 9150 for Pioneer Cosmic Green. Come on, take it off of this black strap, put it on a green croc, hit them at 8650, 85 on a wire, see what they say. Even a 9150, that's a great deal. What do you need box and papers for this watch for? What do you get with a Pioneer Center Second? In-house movement, beautiful dial that there are watches that are $50,000 that don't have a beautiful dial like this. In-house movement, wearable piece, 43 millimeters. You could bang it up, you could beat it up. When you service it, they're not gonna knock you over the head because they do a lot of their everything in-house, even the escapements. Great watch. You want something box and papers, you bump up to this version. This is the Pioneer Center Seconds, the collective green dial, the collective version. The collective is an interesting group. You could Google them. Shout out to those guys over there. And they make collaborative pieces with a lot of great brands. So here we have this Pioneer, and it's basically the same watch, except the bezel is now rotating bezel, which I think is the first time they did a rotating bezel, and this has a really deep green dial that, you know, it's hard to do the dial on this justice. 10950 full set. That's a great watch. Take it off of this black rubber shop. I'm not a fan of the rubber shops that are on Mosers, and I've told them this point blank. There are a lot of watches that they have that I think would sell faster because rubber is nice, nothing wrong with rubber, but like when it's on a watch from this type of brand, you just want like a different type of rubber versus this racing rubber. Great watch, great watch. This is my only negative thing, and I told him to your face, so I'll say it here. We got to change some of the rubber shops. But at 10,950, a lot of watch, man. A lot of watch. Global Light hands. This whole thing looms up. I'm a loom head. Let's keep it going. One last Moser, because I kind of went down these rabbit holes. So this is over our friends at 1916 company, H.Moser and C Streamliner, Tourbillon, Vantablack, or Vantablack, I don't know how it's pronounced. But this piece, first of all, doesn't need a pause moment because it's such a beautiful piece. Pictures do not do this watch justice. There's two reasons why pictures cannot do this watch justice. First reason is the Vantablack dial. Vantablack, Google it. It's the ultra modern material that's basically nanotubes sticking up. It absorbs all the light. When you close your eyes like this and you're sleeping and it seems like, oh my gosh, it's so dark, I can't even control the black. It's darker than that. Like they did a Streamliner coated in Vantablack, and it looked like it didn't exist. It was like darkness. It was just like pure depths of darkness. It's insane. So pictures cannot do justice the depth of the black of this dial, and what that gives you is this beautiful effect of everything's floating because there's no like reflections when you see it, right? So it's like the hands are just floating in nowhere. The indices are just there floating. This tourbillon has just appeared out of the abyss, and I love it. The second reason is you need to see this rose gold case in person. If you've never held the Streamliner, to me, it's one of the best integrated bracelet sports watches made ever. I think, especially since after the Royal Oak, after the Nautilus, after the Laureato, after all these pieces that have been icons out there for a newer brand to make something new and enter in that fray, how are you going to make it not look like everything else? And they executed that super well. The bracelet feels amazing. It looks amazing. And the rest of the watch is complemented very, very well. And it's a really, really good platform. The reason I'm talking about this watch today is the price point on this one. If you're looking for a heavy hitter piece, this watch retails for $120,000 US. $69,950. They just lowered it from $89,950 from $90,000. This is the cheapest on the market. The make an offer button is there. So use it. Anyways, give me a call if you want me to help you, walk you through making an offer or something like this. CQTheWatchGuy.com. I'm your partner in collecting time. Never forget that. Anyways, this is a great watch. If you've been looking for a heavy hitter piece, if you wanted something a little bit more special than a solid gold Rolex, a little bit more special than a solid gold AP, for the price of basically a rose gold AP chrono on a bracelet, you're getting a rose gold integrated bracelet, independent, low production watch with a tourbillon, with a Vantablack dial, with a material that's only they can use, I'm pretty sure as well. This is just magic. This is magic in a watch. Put some magic on your wrist. Enjoy your life. Have some fun. At this price point, I think you're relatively safe on this model as well. I don't suggest getting it close to retail. I think it's a little bit, overpriced, but everything's overpriced at retail these days. I think at $69,950, use the button. Use the button. I don't want anybody saying I'm telling people to lowball people, but use the button. Give me a call. I'll help you use the button. Let's put some magic on your wrist. This is a great watch. Really, really good watch. Let's keep it on moving. All right, so now we're gonna go into some Daniel Roth, and this is over at Collected Man, and this is the extra plat or extra flat or extra thin in yellow gold. So how do we collect Daniel Roth? Why do we collect Daniel Roth? We collect Daniel Roth because we love independent watches over here. And if you love independent watches, Daniel Roth is the grandfather. I'm sorry for the silence. Daniel Roth is the grandfather of modern independence. He was one of the first to, in the 90s, in the 80s, late 80s actually, 1988, put his name on a watch and produce it out in the world and try to make something. And he did make something amazing. You could go through the history, but why people love him so much beyond, being the first to take those big steps is he reignited Breguet. He was hired to reignite and re-envision and bring Breguet into the modern era, and that's what he did, and he made some amazing pieces. So when you collect Daniel Roth, you're collecting from 1988 to 1995. This is a time span where he was most involved in the company. After 1995, there's some business changes, and slowly Bulgari ended up taking over the company, and his hands, his DNA, his aesthetics just kind of left. They just went into very more commercial pieces that are still good, and you can get really good deals on them. But if you're looking for like something that has a little bit of an upside, the ones that you want are from 1988 to 1995. And when you look at some of the Breguets from the 80s and from the 90s as well, and you look at Daniel Roth pieces, it's same watch, different cases. And I love that. And again, farther of independence, because he was the first one, because all these guys, F.P. Journe, Philippe Dufour, Denis Flageolet, all of them worked at all the big houses, whether it be Breguet, whether it be Audemars Piguet, whether it be Patek Philippe, like Laurent Ferrier. So many of them, I do apologize about that. The lights went out on me. Anyways, to sum up the point that I was getting a little drawn out and making there, all of the great independent watchmakers of today worked at some of the biggest brands of yesterday. And they're still big today, but when they were in their heyday of yesterday, because they had so much talent. You know, when you think of the Harry Winston Opus project and what Max Boucher did, and the people who ran through there, included Journe, Dufour, Vanny Halter, all of them, all the great ones had fun in the Opus department. Then you look at what Daniel Roth did over Breguet. You look at Laurent Ferrier and Patek Philippe. F.P. Journe sprinkled in there all over. Denis Flageolet, the same thing. Carré Vuittelin, and you could go on and on. All these great watchmakers. That's the beauty about Switzerland being such a small place, even though, you know, it's tough because you want to see other countries be able to produce great watches, and all the great knowledge happens to just kind of be hunkered up in Switzerland and other small little places. Because you can just pool all that talent together, you just get some amazing watches out of it. Daniel Roth was the first one to really go in the modern era. Of course, there's been many independent watchmakers, but in the modern era of all the great ones that we're collecting today, F.P. Journe being the current rock star, Daniel Roth is the originator of the modern day independent watchmaker as we see it in, you know, relatively larger production volumes. Because we could always talk about George Daniels and Roger Smith, those are, and Philippe Dufour, who's been making watches all during these times as well, but very, very small production. Anyways, sorry, the light thing threw me for a loop. We're looking at the Daniel Roth extra plat or extra thin, ultra thin, whatever you want to call it, the extra plat. I just think it's funny because, you know, it's not platinum, but that's what the word means. Anyways, reference 2167. So like I said, when we're collecting Daniel Roth, we're collecting from 1988 to 1995. After 1995, the business ownership starts to change. Eventually, Bulgari gets it, and then it's just his hands on there. Right now, he's still making watches today under a whole different name. Unfortunately, even with the re-envisioning of the brand with LVMH, really putting some amazing things on it. I think maybe now he might be involved, but, you know, he currently makes watches not under his name. But these are amazing watches to collect either way. This is legendary stuff. All right. So the extra plat here, 17,000 Great British pounds. So it'd be around 21,500 US dollars. Beautiful piece, ultra thin. If I remember right, 34 by 31, 6.5 millimeters thick. That's a pretty thin one. That's a pretty thin one, especially for this aggressive style case. They call it the double ellipse case, and it's very unique. And this is just an iconic case. There's nowhere else to put it. It's something very unique, something so pleasing, and just everything from early Daniel Roth is going to be these beautiful engraved engine turn dials, and just the depth, and just it's just beautiful classic watchmaking with a little modern neo vintage touch there. So 21.5, I think this is a great price to pick these up at. The whole Daniel Roth brand category is slowly inching on up as LVMH is making new subscription series and really pushing the brand in a, high-end watchmaking route and really using Fabrique du Temps and all the great things they're doing over there to make the traditional Daniel Roth come back. Instead of more just focusing on commerciality, it's focusing on really high-end classic watchmaking. So as those watches keep being produced, these watches are going to just continue to climb in value, especially since there weren't that many produced anyways. And again, 1988 to 1995 is the time periods that you're looking at. All right, beautiful. So we have this one that's 21.5 US over at Collected Man. But then I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, found this beautiful piece, 1869 US dollars, right? At Hands and Dials. Never worked with them before, so I don't know if they're, I don't know. But use Chrono 24. Keep yourself protected at all times. This one's no box, no papers, but they do have it tracked down to 1992. Another key thing you want to look for when you're buying Daniel Roth pieces is the early ones. A lot of times, not all the times, but a good grip of them have numero. They're numbered on the dial side. This is his a tribute to Breguet. So that's a really, really cool thing to look for if you're looking for earlier pieces. And this one at 18.7, I think is really nice piece, and it gives you a date versus the one I Collected Man, which is no date. Both very nice pieces. I'm sure they both have different levels of collectability depending on what you want to collect, but I think at the price point, they're getting a really nice piece from the grandfather of modern independence, 18699. There's a lot of other watches out there that won't give you the look, the aesthetic, the feel, the watchmaking DNA and history. And maybe this is worth, I don't know, 20-something in a few years. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and tell you it's worth anything crazy. It'll be worth a lot to you because you love it and you'll enjoy it. That I can guarantee you. Next up, one last Daniel Roth. So this one was funky, and I was like, I like a good salmon dial. And I was, what is this piece? So this is a piece that they made for the 50th birthday of Mr. Roth back in 1995. So this is his signature. And 1995, as I said, is the cutoff. So that's what I was like, is this truly a piece? And it does seem to be a piece that was made when he was still there. A big note to look for is papers with his signature on it is usually accompanying it. And yeah, this is from a private seller, 26.5. Looks to be a relatively rare piece. I think, I don't know the pricing history for this, but I feel like for his birthday, limited edition piece, 26.5, private seller, do a little bit of haggling, but it looks like a beautiful watch. It looks gorgeous. This was recently serviced as well in 2021, which is good too, because again, these pieces are from, this is 1995. So that alone might be worth at least $1,500. So that's something you should take into consideration as well. These are older watches. So being that it's a private seller, I'm super happy you noted that it was serviced in 2021. So I know that at least relatively, in a relative short past, a watchmaker's opened this up, looked at it, it just hasn't been in a drawer sitting since the 90s, and I need to go through all that hassle. So 26.5 might be a little bit aggressive. Do your own research on that, but I think it's a beautiful piece, and I wanted to talk about it. Next, let's move on to another one of my favorite brands that are just it's a steal. Do you know, go to YouTube and type in lionfish hunting. And, you know, lionfish, I'm from the Caribbean, I'm from St. Thomas and Virgin Islands. I know this is a crazy segue, but lionfish are, you know, a species that's, you know, they're not supposed to be there. They're all over the Caribbean, blah, blah, blah. But when they hunt lionfish don't have any predators. So they're just coasting out there. So you'll see a big pod of like 20, 25 of them, and these spear fishermen can just go and just spare them, and they're right next to each other, and they're just kind of swimming along like they don't have a care in the world. That is what Parmigiani Fleurier pieces are on the secondary market. These are amazing watches inside and out. Like, I can't even explain. Do your own research, please. I don't have the time. I'll do a big 2-hour episode on that. But they're just amazing lionfish waiting for you to spare it. You know, just come on, they're right there sitting in front of you. $97.50 for this beautiful 1950 Tonda, rose gold. In the notes here, this is a May 2024 piece. These retail for $20. These retail at 19.5. You're getting a half off for a private seller. I'm sure he'll take $9,000 for it. Insane. And why it's just a brand that struggled to find. I love their pieces. They're just struggling to find their market for whatever reason. But that does not change popularity. If there's one thing CQ the watch guy can teach you, popularity does not equal quality. Two things. Popularity does not equal quality. Retail price does not also equal quality. There are other things that determine quality that are not determined by the price. Because from the price of this watch, you'd say, there's no way this is an 18 karat rose gold in-house movement piece on an Hermes strap. The strap alone is like, to order a new strap is probably $700. You wouldn't think it. You'd think this is a lower quality, inferior brand, like a fashion watch or something like that. This is top level watchmaking. It's insane. So you could get this at $97.50. I just saw this and was like, wow, it's crazy the deals you can find in Parmigiani. And this is a modern stuff. If you're a little freaky, if you're willing to let the freak flag fly like CQ when it comes to watches, you could get some funky Kalpas, some Chronos, under 10,000, 6,000, 7,000. It's insane, the prices. Anyways, not today's episode. So I saw that one, and I went down the rabbit hole Parmigiani. Look at this beautiful Tonda 1950 blue meteorite dial. Blue meteorite dial. Who's giving you a blue meteorite dial? 18 karat rose gold. Beautiful watch. I'm just trying to see. Look at the movement. Micro rotor. I don't even. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I have to rub my head. Micro rotor, in-house movement. Their own washer movements. Washer does movements for Hermes. Washer does movement also for Richard Mille. Look watches cost. Anyways, I just think they're just amazing value. Maybe I'm crazy, but 18 karat rose gold from a low production independent brand that's heralded by everybody else. I just want to see something here. I believe, are we at 40 mm? 39, beautiful 39 mm, so even the smaller wrist folks can wear it. Blue meteorite dial, $14,950. Come on, who has it? Watch outlet, don't know them. Shoot them 14, man. Shoot them off for 14. Call CQ, CQthewatchguy.com. Let's get this watch on somebody's wrist. That's a beautiful. Again, this retail at $20,000. I think this came out in 2021 or 2022 or so. Amazing watch. If this is a Patek, I'm not even going to talk about it. Another piece, Parmigiani, from Parmigiani. This is a Tondograph GT. So this is their entry into the integrated sports line. I think they did a great job as well. Again, 14.2. Even retail on these are like just around 20. Just great prices you get for these. You get a chronograph and a full calendar. You get a month and you get a date. Annual calendar, excuse me. It's not even a full calendar. It's a functioning annual calendar, chronograph, 14,200. I like it. I think that's a good price. And then if you want a little more color, you want a rubber strap, you got this version. They do it in gold too, but I just love this stainless steel with a beautiful kind of a deep red strap, and it's the red they call Granada, I believe. Is a really nice, supposed to reminiscent of a pomegranate. 14.3. Really good price on this as well. Again, retail right around 20. This one's for 2023. This one is not the annual calendar though. This one is just, I have to double check that. Okay, looks like annual calendar. Anyways, even if it's just a chronograph, great price, but I think it's more. 14.3, check it out. All right, let's keep it going. This video is already going to be a long one. So let's step into Laurent Ferrier, who again is one of those independent watchmakers who's just doing some amazing things. Just for whatever reason, it just the business hasn't caught on fire as it should, even though they're doing fairly well, but they're not doing as good. I think they should. I think every piece from them should be sold out. Laurent Ferrier spent 37 or so years at Patek Philippe, head of the creations department, technical director, was involved in making the Nautilus, was involved in making the Aquanaut, and so many other pieces. at the age of 63, with one of his very good friends, decided to make his own brand and make some amazing pieces. This is another student of Breguet who just really went deep into scholarship. And what you're getting here, I can't explain to you in this video. You really have to do your own scholarship and education. Give me a call and we can really talk about it for a couple hours, because that's what you need to really just... The more you learn about Laurent Ferrier, the more you learn about what's going into the manufacture, the movements and natural escapements, the finishing, the different unique ways he's solving problems that you don't even know need to be solved. You'll be like me and be like, these are all no-brainers. My elevator pitch on Laurent Ferrier is Patek Philippe in 100 years. Very clean. On his it's on his website. He has a great line. It's just like, shoot, I forgot it, but it's basically, it's clean, simple beauty. That is what he is going after, and that is what he achieves. If you love Patek pieces, you know one thing about it: they're clean, unless they're complicated. And even when they're complicated, they're as clean as it can be. A lot of minimalism. He takes the minimalism even further and just makes it just a little bit more svelte. There's no angles. Everything is smooth. Gallet used to be the name on all of his, many of his lines, and Gallet means the river stone that's smooth because of the river water rushing over it. So everything is smooth and svelte and just beautiful. Anyways, why I picked this piece is very interesting to me. So this is a Laurent Ferrier classic micro rotor retro charcoal dial. So it's being sold on Chrono 24 as pre-owned, but it's at Chief Crump & Lowe as new, and I didn't understand it. So the notes here, please note, Chief Crump & Lowe is an authorized dealer of Laurent Ferrier, has an authorized dealer. This watch is direct from Laurent Ferrier in Switzerland, brand new in box with tags, complete with a 2-year international warranty. So this, please note, this is a rare off-catalog piece. So higher than where I tell people to normally go into micro rotors from Laurent Ferrier, but it's an off-catalog piece. I definitely reach out to them because it seems like the retro style you see on the square pieces, I haven't seen it on this in the classic case before. So maybe it's a one-off or a one of few. I think a very good piece to check out at $59,000. Let's keep it going. Those are just a bunch more. So the classic origin is their manual wound option that I really love as well. This one is it is a polished titanium case, $27,950. These retail for around $37,000, so only 25% off retail, which I think is great. So they make, I think, under 200 watches a year, and definitely a brand that is slowly creeping up. The models that are popular are slowly creeping up, and you're not seeing deep discounts on these days at all, which I think it's good. And it's one of those brands where, again, do your own research. I'm not here telling you what to invest in. I just think the legs are long on these, and I don't see this watch turning into a $14,000 or $18,000 watch ever, unless, you know, a lot of other watches have gone down. So check this out, beautiful blue dial, little sky blue accents there as well. They do a white dial that's beautiful, but I think polished titanium for what you get. This one's a manual one, but the movement is still really beautiful and well finished as well. $27,950. You know, this or Calatrava, I take this. All right, now to the last two. I forgot to put this in there. I put this in because I didn't know this existed. So this is a limited edition Moser Pioneer Tourbillon concept dial. Concept dial means there's no logo on the dial, limited to 18 pieces. This variation of the Pioneer is one of my favorites in terms of the case. Before we go on to the complication, rose gold with titanium tucked in. It just has a really good look. There's a perpetual calendar in this variation, which I love. So on this limited edition, you have an Aventurine dial, which I've never seen in the Pioneer case before, with a beautiful tourbillon. Really nice watch. You know, at 73, you can go back and forth. Retail probably is closer to 80 or so on it. But, you know, K2 are really good people, and they get very special watches. But you see what I mean about the rubber strap? It's like, it's a beautiful watch. They don't have a good shot with everything, but it's such an expensive watch to have on a rubber strap. I understand you want to keep it sporty, but I think there's just other sporty options that would frame the watch a little bit better and help it sell, and have this rubber strap as a additional strap that's sold with it, kind of like Panerai. But look, imagine if this was a beautiful suede or black croc with gold stitching on it, or something that kind of felt sporty, but because you're not taking this diving. Yes, it's a screw down crown, all that stuff, but what are the odds that you're taking this particular watch even in a splash in the pool? Maybe a splash in the pool, a little chip to the bees or something like that. But like, I'm not, and nothing where I would need a full rubber strap that couldn't just be a nice croc strap or leather strap with rubber on the back. Just my little hesitation. But the watch, I love this. This is a grail for me. I discovered a new grail, and yeah, you guys are here with me. I'm gonna have this watch one day. Don't know what I'm gonna pay for it, but I love it. And my last watch I wanna talk about is this amazing Grönefeld 1941 Remontoire at $99,950. Call it $100,000 at the 1916 company. There's a lot to unpack in this watch that we just don't have the time for today, and many more, scholared people have done, much more longer and more in-depth articles and blah, blah, blah about Remontoire pieces. They're amazing. All Remontoires are amazing in general, just what they're doing and what they're achieving to give you just improved accuracy and how they're playing with the energy of the watch. This Remontoire is just even more amazing because it puts the action of the Remontoire right in front of you. And what you get is every 8 seconds, this little wheel here, it looks like a fan, it just spins. And like, even if you don't know anything about Remontoire movements and all that jazz, there's just a beautiful ballet of a mechanical watch every 8 seconds, just beautifully spinning. It doesn't seem aggressive. It doesn't seem forced. It seems as fluid as water. And this is one watch that really opened up my love of independent watches. So when I saw it today, I was like, I have to talk about this watch. Matter of fact, price-wise, it's actually the lowest on the market as well, so it was a good pick anyways. But just really, when I saw this, I held it for like 20 minutes, just staring at it. And then you look at the movement. Beautiful case, by the way. Grönefeld does very good case architecture. And you look at this beautiful movement. Look at that movement, The arcs there are to mimic houses over in the Netherlands where the Grönefeld brothers are from. And it's just an amazing watch. I was just staring at that movement all day. And then you see this beautiful Remontoire spinning around. It's awesome. Really, really awesome. This one's a $99.50. They do have another one. It's a cream dial for $89.50, but use a button. Actually, call me. I'll take care of you. I'll help you out on this one. CQTheWatchGuy.com. But this is the last, definitely not the least, of my watches, of independent watches I think you should get on the secondary market. As you can see, I've shown you amazing variety at pretty much every price point. And I could have even started at $500 if I wanted to, but I already did maybe 15 watches. Say this is gonna be a half-hour episode, maybe more. We gotta see what the viewership looks like. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're okay with seeing me do long videos like this, comment, say, it's okay, CQ, keep on going. If you have topics you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. If you have a specific question, write it down there. Maybe I'll talk about the show. If you need more in-depth guidance and advice, check out CQTheWatchGuy.com. I do this every day for all my clients. You're hunting for certain watches. You want to achieve certain things in your collection. There's almost too much information out there. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's bad. There are hundreds of thousands of watch brands out there. Using my experience, using my network, reach out to me. I love helping people build their dream watch collections. Literally, I've been doing it since I've in my 20s, and I haven't felt like I've worked. I felt like my life has been a dream. So help me achieve my dream by helping you achieve your dream watch collection. Reach out to me, CQTheWatchGuy.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out this Grönefeld. Check out all these amazing watches I talked about. Don't be afraid to enjoy something that everybody else doesn't have. Don't be afraid to be unique. You can find some amazing value and some great watches. And I will tell you, just if you're somebody who's thinking more with the financial hat on, most of the people who made amazing profits during the rise of H.Moser and other independents in the past 6 or 7 years are the people who who bought them just because they thought they were cool watches. They thought they were funky watches. They bought them purely to either enjoy the watch or support Mr. Journe, if you're talking very, very in the earlier times. But yeah, those are the ones who really got calls from people like me, like, hey, you bought this watch for 60, 70, I got a 400,000 for you. Not to say that's guaranteed, not to say that ever happens again. That was definitely a lightning in the bottle situation. But when you're looking at independence, you're getting low production watches. So you're at least playing in the side of the water where that might happen, and it could be anything. It could be a smaller production, smaller value watch. It could be something that's on the higher dollar side that you caught when nobody was looking at it. There's so much opportunities out there. I don't think you should, approach watches with the investment hat on, but I'm talking to you about $100,000 watch. You got to think about it. You got to, you got to look at your situation and see if spending 100 is fair. And if you spend 100, you want to know that you're going to get something back. On a watch like this, you buy for 100, you maybe use the button and you get a little bit better deal. There's no world where you're only getting 50 out of this. There's no world where you're only getting 60 out of this. Is there a world where if you had to really, a fire sale and have to sell it really, really quickly for 70? Yeah. But in most other worlds, you get between 90 and 100. This is also on the market. There are people asking 115 for theirs. In worst case, you're probably getting 80s for it or something like that. There are a lot of other brands where you can sink 80 grand into, and I can't even help you. I can't even help you move it. So just keep your eyes open. Don't be afraid to play around in the independent side of the pool. And most of all, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listen to me talk about watches. I'm CQ the Watch Guy, your partner in collecting time. You remember the rule? I do. Buy what you love.